Right then, ever since I showed this new lathe on video, I've been getting lots of questions about it. So this week, we're not going to be using the big lathe, we're going to use this one. And I'm going to try and answer the questions I got about it. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn a new type of pen kit that I've got in Antler to try and answer those questions. Right then, I have the piece of antler chucked up. Right, I'm just going to center punch it first. Now, I haven't actually turned anything on this lathe yet. Michael has, but I haven't. I think that might be slightly fast for drilling. Yeah, it is. I need to drop the speed on this slightly. I don't know what Michael turned last on it, but it's slightly fast for drilling. So I'm gonna have to change the speed on this twice. Right, that's something that is different on this, is that with the big lathe, if I need to change something, it's just a flick of a switch. But on this one, I have to open all these doors and drawers and stuff to change the speed on it. That was one question I was asked, was have I gotten used to changing the speed on this yet? The answer is basically yes, but it's still not as easy as if you just have a dial. As I said, I haven't actually turned a full piece on this yet, but what I have done on it is I've played with it. I've had another couple of plays around with it. As I said, Michael has turned some stuff on it. I need to get the belt all the way down to the end on that one. And all the way up on this one. Right, I find these doors a pain in the rear when I'm doing them, because they don't stay up out of the way unless you tighten this thing back down again. I'm just used to so used to the Laguna where everything is simple. Right then, right, lock that back down. Close it up, close the plates. So that's the biggest difference I found from messing around with this and excuse me, and the Laguna, is changing speeds. It's just a little bit more of a pain in the butt with this one. I need to get some practice in with this lathe anyway, because okay, something's wrong there. Oh, hang on a minute, is that the full depth of it? That's actually the full depth of it. Okay, right, there's nothing wrong there. That was just me not being familiar with the lathe. As far as I can figure, I'm drilling about 450 RPM here. It's a little bit fast. But it's doing it. There's a very long tube on this kit. Anybody who's into angling will be interested in this kit. But the tube on it is very long compared to some kits. And we're through. Right. Alright then. Let's have a look at the quality of this drilling. Yeah, it's not bad. It's straight, it's true. I'm close to the edge, which is good because I want to get some natural into this. Yeah, that's fine. Right then, as I said, the tube on this is quite long. It is let's grab a ruler here. It's a full 3 inches long, this tube is, which for a pen kit is quite long. Right then, I will glue this tube in and I'll be right back. Alright then, we're all drilled and mounted up. Tube is stuck in. I can't get to my normal 2000 on this lathe because it'll either go at 1940 or 2640, so I'm sticking with the 1940. Now, let's see about turning this. Plenty of power in it for doing this. Yeah, I got these kits in my last order, and I did 2 of them for the market for last week, and one of them sold straight away, so I need to replace it. As I mentioned, I'm actually doing a pen demo at the market this week. We have the Roses of Tralee coming. It's in the middle of the Roses of Tralee Festival, and they're coming to the village. And all the crafters there are doing demos, and I'm going to do a pen. I would normally do a bowl as a demo, but because there's going to be like crafters next to me and stuff, I want to keep the sawdust down to a minimum. Yeah, it turned just fine. So look, the cut quality on it. It's not bad. Did keep a little bit of natural just there. Gonna need to do that. Anybody who's seen me do these before knows that that's marrow, and I have to fix it when I'm sanding, but absolutely fine. As I said, I haven't actually turned anything on this. Right now I got to change this back down to sanding speed again. This is, if there's anything that I'm finding off with this, it's doing this. I'm just so used to flicking a switch on the other one to where did I put that thing, to change the speeds, and it's so convenient. Where did I put that thing? I had that in my hand a second ago. Is it because I'm not in my normal spot? My motor memory is not where it should be, because anytime I'm doing something I always have places I put things. Just tighten that up to keep it up out of the way. Going down this. Right then, get some thin CA and flood that. There isn't much of it. I'll just fix it when I'm sanding. Right, so a little bit of 180. Fill the marrow while I'm doing it. Feels wrong there. I think maybe that one is the wrong speed. We'll go up to the next pulley and see what happens. So that one doesn't feel right. That feels a little bit better. I would normally sand these at about 600 on the big Lathe. But the small one doesn't go down to 600. So I'm up to 900. And as I said before, on antler videos, remember antler has a grain exactly like wood. So sand with the grain. Now a little piece of 240. And that is nicely filled. Right. Quick clean off with a bit of mets, or denatured alcohol, as you call it over in the States. I see a little bit of, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's actually a little pink hue off that part there. Nice piece of antler. Spin it up, dry it. Some sanding soda. Yeah, I got these little bottles on Temu actually. They're HDPE. Oh no, they're actually not HDPE. They're LDPE. But I find them great for holding the mets and the sanding sealer, and since I've been using them, I found I'm actually using a lot less sanding sealer. So it's just something that's on Temu, and I have a few other things coming up from Temu that I was surprised about. I haven't actually had a chance to use them yet. They arrived. Temu have this thing that they do where if you, every now and again they'll offer you a certain amount of things for free if you're buying stuff. My wife was buying stuff and she said, is there anything you want? So I had a look through and I found actually it's resin stuff, so I thought we'd give that a shot. Okay, now we have some Yorkshire grit. So there'll be a video or two coming up with me trying out Temu resin, which might, if it's any good, might save everybody a few quid. Right, I got resin and I got UV resin and I got some colours. The UV resin, I'm figuring if for filling a small crack of it in a resin piece and you find a piece that the resin didn't get into, the UV resin would be handy for it. I don't know yet, I haven't used it. But that'll be upcoming when I give that a shot. Well, the little lathe itself is working out fine, except for that the changing the speeds, that's slightly annoying, but that's only because I'm used to having a dial. If I wasn't used to having a dial, I probably wouldn't even notice it. And we are shy. Right, now some Yorkshire grit microfine. As I said, I'm doing a demo on basically what I'm doing here now on Saturday at the market, because all the roses and the rosewoods and stuff are coming, so it should be a bit of fun. I'm not exactly sure what time the demo is at, but I'll be bringing the gear with me. You know, I don't know, let me see, who else is doing demos there? The Potter is doing demos, the jewellery maker is doing demos, there's a bracelet maker there doing the demo. It should be quite an interesting day. I'm actually looking forward to it. It should be a bit of crack, because it's always fun, especially with the rosewoods coming. It's always fun to do a demo with kids, because they are always interested, and they always ask the strangest questions, you know, and they actually make you think outside the box sometimes, which is never a problem or bad. And now we go on to Bob's favourite bit. For those of you who are wondering who the hell is Bob, Bob was someone who had a problem with something I'm about to do, and I did an entire video answering Bob. I'll leave a link up there to it and a link below if you're interested in what Bob was on about. I'm going to use Brasso. Now, hopefully the camera can pick up the shine that's on that now. It's pretty good, right? So I'm now going to use Brasso on this, right? And as I've explained in the video with Bob, like any metal polish, Brasso is an abrasive. Now you'll just see this, if the camera picks it up, it'll just pop. It'll be dull, 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 and then pop. Right. I don't use a finish on antler because if you can finish the thing itself, you will get a much better, there's the pop, you will get a much better and more longer lasting finish if you can finish the thing itself rather than putting a finish on top. Yeah, that is reflecting every light that's in the workshop, so that's perfect. Alright then, so there's pink up here, and this is the colours in this piece of antler are gorgeous actually. Right then, I'll start up putting this pen together and I'll be back in 1 second. Okay then, let's get this pen together. I have the pen press in the little lathe. Find out now if it actually holds the pressure. As normal, as I've said this before, I've only done this pen twice before, so I have fitting instructions here. Right, never be afraid to use the fitting instructions, that's what they're there for. I do so many pens that remembering what way they all go together is kind of, it can get mixed up, so I always use the instructions for new pens. Right, so first things first, is put the tip, screw the tip into the tip coupler. Now you'll see that this is a weird pen, okay? There's a secondary tube in it, which is that one there, right? So I screw the tip in there, unscrew the mechanism, grab the Parker style refill, put the spring on it, slide it in, put the twist mechanism back on, check it works perfectly. Okay, now this is where it's weird. You do not press this part in, right? Then I get the tip and the clip and the clip holder, right? Pick which end I want is up. Which end looks more elegant. They're both identical, of course, right? Then I press that in. Put the fish clip wherever I want it. Give it a good squeeze. Fish clip is no longer moving. Perfect. Right, and then this entire thing gets shoved inside and put in, and it works by twisting the base like so. Right, there is the new fishing pen that I'm using. Right, the clip is probably supposed to be a salmon or a trout, and a fly rod. There is a fishing scene engraved around the tip, right? Another fishing scene engraved around there, and there is a fly rod and a fish there on the top. But I said it's a nice kit. I've been looking for a nice fly fishing kit for a long time, and I came across this one. It's from my normal place, which is, if I can pronounce this right, Zusammenreisung, right? Which sell online as pen kit small. Right, people have a thing about pen kit small because it's technically in China. Right, pen kit small is actually, or Rising is actually in Hong Kong. Now, before China took over Hong Kong again, I basically got it back, right? If something was made in Hong Kong, it was fine. If something was made in China, it wasn't. It's the same place. It's the same stuff. you will see on it like made in China. In your head, take the China away and put Hong Kong in, and then you'll get the idea. I have never had a problem with the quality of anything from Rising. I'm not sponsored around, but I don't do stuff like that, you know that. But I can tell you, this is a heavy pen, right? Now, here is my own pen, and you seen me turn this years ago, right? And it is still as perfect as the day I turned it, apart from it scratched the hell, of course, because I don't treat it well. But this thing is what, nearly 5 years old? 5 years old, and it's still absolutely perfect. And that'll give you a clue. Do you see the shine that's still on that antler? Still perfect, right? So don't get it into your head that just because it's pen kit small that their stuff is bad quality. It's not, right? I've bought Sierras that weren't from there. They were from, let's put it this way, a well-known company who produced their own stuff, and the quality was worse, right? So there we go. That's the new lathe. Hopefully I've answered some questions about it. The only thing that's annoying about it is having to change the speeds like that, but that's only because I'm used to using the big lathe that has a knob on it. That's about it, right? Otherwise it worked perfectly. It's easy to use, there's no vibration on it. The tailstock was one of the questions I had. The tailstock has plenty of clamping force to press a pen together, and all of the Morse 2 stuff worked fine. So if you enjoyed that, I got nothing out of it. If you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next one.